How are you doing? Are you
Not
doing
heard
good?
that. Yeah, I'm all right, thanks. I mean, I've just I had a bit of a long month. I've been ill twice this month. You know what January's like.
It's going
Yeah,
round, honestly. It's going around. It's awful. I had super flu
I
like the
know.
first week of Jan. Oh my God. I was like knocked out for
Really.
ages. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Awful,
Yeah,
awful.
I mean, yeah, I mean, not to go into too much detail. Yeah, I was ill and then I was better and then I got ill again off that. So yeah, it's been a bit. I mean, I started the month in Australia, so it could only get worse from there because it's summer over there at the
Well,
moment.
it's
So
it's
it
it's
was
a
really
good
nice.
way to start the month ill. Like you don't have bad surroundings in Australia,
No,
right?
I know. No, no, it was yeah. I mean, it was actually after I got back that it started, so that kind of made it even more depressing coming home. But yeah, no, it's yeah. Apart from that, I'm all good. Like just yeah, been doing a lot of traveling and touring and stuff recently. But
Yeah.
yeah, looking forward to getting back now and just focusing more on music and getting some new bits out.
Super exciting stuff. Well, welcome to the show. This is House Party with me, Danielle Foley, on a Friday. It's going to be at 6 p.m. So it will come out around like
Wicked,
half six. So do the like edit it up and put it out. But yeah, welcome into the
cool.
show. Last
Thank
year
you.
was the 10th anniversary, obviously, of you and your incredible music career. We've had massive releases from you like Green and Gold, Rave Out, Double Vision, but Skepsis. What did like all of that look like at the start? Where did you start? What was your first impressions of dance, D&B, and house and the genre all in all? And how did you end up making your own music? Was there like something in the scene that you felt was missing, or is it deeper than that, or is it like, oh, I heard like a really cool D&B record and I was like, I want to make something like that. What was the initial like dance, I guess, formula that you fell into?
I think my earliest memories of getting into this kind of stuff was when I was still in school, and listening to like Pendulum and The Prodigy and people like that. I mean, I'm 30 now, so it was around like 2010. I was hearing like Tarantula by Pendulum and a few other. And that was the first drum and bass tracks I ever heard. And obviously, I didn't know what it was at the time, but it just kind of gave me a feeling that was like, whoa, this is mad. So that was my first introduction, really. Um, and then, yeah, kind of just started DJing like house parties when I was in school. Me and my friend, we kind of learned, saved up to buy some equipment, was doing like kids' birthday parties for money and stuff as well. So that was interesting. Yeah, and then I went to university and I was studying something completely unrelated, which I didn't really enjoy. But I hadn't like I wasn't studying music because I was just doing it on the side, and I guess like I didn't sort of fully believe in myself in a way to just fully send it and just do music full time. Um, but while I was doing my degree, I was kind of I started DJing in clubs like residencies, you know, like local bars and stuff. And yeah, I was uploading tracks to SoundCloud, just like stuff I was working on, and that was like gaining a bit of traction. And then when I was in my final year of uni, that's when it started kind of kicking off for me. So like I started playing like gigs around the UK, and it actually got to the point where like I almost dropped out because I started having to miss lectures and stuff and like yeah, so but luckily I managed to graduate. I mean at the time I was actually studying history and American literature, which was a bit crazy. Um yeah, so then I graduated, and luckily when I graduated I was in a position to yeah, do start music full time. So yeah, and then kind of when I started out, around 10 years, well, I think full time was probably about 7 or 8 years ago. But I wasn't doing as much drum and bass. I was more doing like bass line, bass house, like a bit of bit slower stuff, if you kind of have heard any of my old stuff. I would always play a bit of drum and bass in my sets because there was crossover. But really, when I started, I was doing more like bassline and UK bass music stuff. Yeah, and then I just kind of made more friends in drum and bass, and just yeah, I got more confident with making it myself because it's really difficult to produce it. And yeah, then I'd say it was probably about maybe 3 or 4 years ago, um, that I released my first proper drum and bass track. So it was somewhat of a transition into drum and bass, even though I was quite familiar with it. And then, yeah, just since then I've been releasing a lot more D&B, and yeah, obviously had a few tracks that have kind of gone down well. So yeah, that's kind of a summary of the
Yeah.
journey up to this point. Honestly, like every year is different. Like you don't know what's going to happen. I could have never predicted all the different kind of career twists and turns and stuff. So yeah.
Yeah, exactly. You've really kind of bounced around all the genres, and I think that's really cool to kind of have that background in like bass and house, and you just kind of can make a drum and bass track in a lot of like a different come at it from a different approach almost.
Mm. Yeah, I think maybe that's kind of what formed my drum and bass identity as well, having that slightly different angle to it because, I kind of with the drum and bass, I sort of have two sides to my game, as in like, I can release the more like vocal stuff, which is more for like the radio and
Yeah.
Spotify and stuff. But then I can feel free to just release something like really heavy, as well. Like, so I think my like, I always try to kind of represent both sides because I've always enjoyed all different ends of the spectrum, really.
Yeah. Do you think your your history degree kind of went into any of that at all or no?
No, honestly, I remember when I was writing my dissertation at the end, and I was supposed to, obviously, I'm not endorsing any of this behavior, but I was supposed to have been working on it all year, and I ended up doing it in a week. Like researched it and wrote it in a week because I just was not like I was not into it. Um, but luckily, it did all right in the end because I was always quite good at kind of winging it. But I haven't, I don't think I've had to use any of my history degree yet. Maybe like occasionally, but I don't think any of it was music related anyway. So, but yeah, and hopefully won't have to use it anyway. But yeah, it's always there in case.
You definitely don't take the same approach with your music then. It's not like a last minute thing. This is like very like in depth, like you've been planning and working on something for a while.
Yeah, I think, yeah, it's kind of because it's just like it's always ongoing, there's always something to be doing, like all different aspects of being an artist, but especially from the music point of view, there's always you do get the occasional deadline if someone like for a label or something, but most of the time it's kind of at your own pace, which is nice because yeah, like I said, I was not too good with deadlines and doing staying up all night working on stuff.
Yeah. And it's a super creative art form, music. It is like an art. It's a masterpiece. Like if it's not perfect, like you do you know what I mean? You've got to like are you a
Mm.
perfectionist in that regard, working and working on something until it comes to fruition?
Yeah, it's hard as well because it's not like it's infinite because there's infinite possibilities and there's no concrete sign of like this is finished now, you have to judge it yourself. Um, in a way, I would almost say that I'm not a perfectionist because I try not to overcomplicate